How to make 10K in 30 days wholesaling on Zillow. Guys, my name's Rick Gannon. Today's video, I'm going to break it down in 3 simple sections. Number 1, I'm going to show you the strategy. Going into 2026, you need a strategy. I'm going to show you how to do it for Zillow. The second part, I'm going to show you how to underwrite and figure what the value of these properties are. And number 3, I'm going to show you how to structure to the offer. And if you stay to the end, I'll show you how to get these things sold, commonly known as dispo. But before I get into it, do me this favor. Make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, and share this video with someone that wants to learn how to wholesale. So no, I didn't lose my mind. I'm telling you how you can make 10K in 30 days using Zillow. Zillow works. And I'm telling you, going into 2026, I'm going to show you the exact strategy that works. If you have no money, you got a lot of time, you got no capital to get started in wholesaling, honestly, this is the perfect strategy. And this leads me into, let's talk about this strategy. We can't just blindly attack Zillow. We have to go in and find the right type of properties because there's a lot of people that you don't want to contact on Zillow, and you have to have a clear strategy. So the first thing you're going to do is choose your market. Now, most of you are going to use Zillow because you have the entire country. You can go 100% virtual, and that's the beauty of it. You can use this in your local market, but honestly, if you're doing this virtually, that's where you get your biggest bang for your buck. How do you find a market? It's very, very simple. I've got a million videos on it between me and Zach, but make sure you have a good, solid population. My recommendation is 100K or more, 100,000 people, and look at the average median price. The average median price in the United States hovers in the low 400,000, between 400 and 410K. I'm looking for blue collar neighborhoods that are significantly below that number. Why? Because it's affordable housing and people tend to gravitate towards it. Find states where you have friendly tax shelters, all sorts of fun stuff. It's not that hard to figure out, and find out where people are moving to. But we're going to base it on population and average median price. I don't want to go in markets where price is above the average US price, which is around 400 to 410, depending on when you watch this video. I like them way below that, but don't get into like the super cheap houses. Whatever you want to do, just use those 2 criteria to pick your market. It's not emotional. It's a business decision. Population means you got more buyers, you got more activity, you got more product, more houses to sell. And then a lower average median price usually means it's going to be going up. So focus on those 2 key areas when you're looking for your Zillow markets. Now, guys, there's 2 types of deals on Zillow. Number 1, there's going to be regular single family homes. We're simply looking for ugly, terrible houses that aren't selling. The second one is just land. Yes, land winds up going on Zillow all the time. And here's the little secret on land. This is still the tactical advantage you have in wholesaling and land. There's not a lot of data out there to provide a real comp for land. It's just a raw piece of dirt on planet Earth, and there's no house on it. And most of the time when people put it on the market, they're completely guessing. Even if it's listed with a realtor, they don't specialize in land. And honestly, if the owner is listing that property on Zillow, they really don't know the value of it. So if you can find a buyer that is desirable looking for a property in that area, land can actually be a very fast deal. They're usually smaller profits, but they go much faster. And because there's less intel on land out there, they're actually easier to take down. So now that we know the 2 types of deals on Zillow, I've got to give you a disclaimer on Zillow. And this is anything that's on market in Zillow. I hope this isn't a big secret. They're all overpriced. So don't freak out when you see some of the price listings because they just follow the mantra of what realtors do. So it doesn't matter if a realtor's listing it on Zillow or if FSBO's listing on Zillow, they're all overpriced. So don't freak out about price. That's the seller's expectations. The market is brutal. So they're all going to be overpriced. The strategy for every realtor is if somebody wants $250,000 for the property, let's list it for $279,900 and make them feel like they got a deal. So know that going in when you look at these properties, don't freak out when you see the first price. The second part I'm going to teach you is what are the keywords you need to focus on to do a search on Zillow. We're going to focus on our strategy is we're looking for FSBOs, for sale by owners. I'll do another video on how to deal with realtors. It's a whole different world. I like to talk to the sellers directly. So I use the old acronym ODN, off-market direct to seller that needs to sell. These type of strategies is we are direct to seller. If they're on market, off market, they're technically they're off market off of MLS. So you get like a half a point for that. The next thing we need to do is just identify the ones that need to sell versus the ones that want to sell. Remember, everybody wants to sell their property. Your job to go on Zillow is scrape and find the ones that need to sell. How do I do that? Let me give you the keywords and I will put them on the bottom of the screen here for you. Motivated. You could actually put this in the criteria in the Zillow on your search under under keywords. So the first word you're going to use is motivated. Next one, TLC, just like that. Those are always problematic properties and they indicate distress. Anything that says cash, or you can do cash only, but those are the types of deals we're looking for because they're problematic and they'll never pass financing. As is. That's one of my favorite phrases. Make sure you put that in your keyword search. Use the word bring. Sometimes I'll put bring all offers. I just like to key on the word bring, B-R-I-N-G. And the word fixer, like a fixer-upper, I just key on the keyword if it has F-I-X in it. You can do that, or F-I-X-E-R, or anything that says updating. Those keywords are enough to scrape to find problematic properties because our job is to find people who need to sell and try to filter out the ones that want to sell. So what we'll do is take this to the next step. Once we do the keywords, here's what we're going to look for. We're not looking for freshly listed properties. Guys, they make great videos, but the reality is I do these calls all the time, and you can go back in my live streams with Zach, and we just cold call Zillow sellers live. But we use all this criteria like, Rick, how do you do 5 phone calls and get a deal? Use these keywords, and here's the 2 additional search criteria I want you to do. The first one is absolutely mandatory. Number 1, I'm looking for listings that are 100 days plus or older. Why? Because once a property's on the market 100 days, you can do it 90. I like 100. The seller's given up on it. The buyers have given up on it. The realtors think they're absolutely nuts. And it usually means the property is extremely overpriced. Who do we blame for that? That's going to be the seller because these are FSBOs. It is not uncommon for them to do that. Or there is a major problem with the property. It's outdated. It's run down. Maybe a tenant trashed it. It might be a combination of both. And after that 100 days, I call it the market punishment. The market's brutal. And after a while, I'll show you how to present these offers. Is those are the ones that we're looking to pick up. Now, if I had a magic wand, if I could add anything that had at least 1 or 2 price reductions, that will even filter it down. But sometimes you need to get enough listings on it. And I would do the price thing last because price isn't always indicative of if you're going to get a wholesale deal or not. So 100 plus days and any type of price reductions is a good sign that that property would be open to talking to a wholesaler like you and me. Now, I want you to go out there and I want you to find these properties. Now, our strategy is to do wholesale first always. And we're simply looking for properties that are in distress. Now, you're going to come across some properties that really need creative financing. I'm not here to do a creative financing video, but always attack wholesaling first. When that avenue's closed and say the property has extremely low equity, how do I know it has low equity? I don't know. Just look it up. You can look up online. You can go over to XLeads. It'll tell you what the equity percentage is. But once that equity gets really narrow and thin, usually below 15, 20%, the only good fit if someone wants to get rid of that property without writing a check out of their hand is going to be a subject to. Those are going to be the low equity properties. Now, what if somebody owns a property free and clear and it's coming up on this list, which is quite common? These are what we call seller financing deals. And the first one on the low equity one is someone who just overpaid for a house or they put down a very, very tiny small payment and some life condition changes and they get sold. Subject to has to be the only answer for those to make them work. And if you're going to do that, make sure you comply with your state laws, make sure you consult a lawyer, or make sure you partner with someone that has experience doing that. Anyways, the other one is if they have high equity, maybe they own it clear and free. These type of people, they put it on the market, they overprice it. They fall in 1 of 2 categories. Number 1, they're trying to avoid a tax payment is why they would do it because they don't want to pay the gains on the property because whatever the profit is, they have to pay taxes on it. Number 2, they're just tired of being a landlord. Being a landlord is a very active job and it takes a lot of work and they get tired of being burnt by people. So they want someone like you or maybe me to be responsible to take over the payment. They still get their cash flow. They kick the can down the street to pay taxes down the road, and those would be an ideal fit. The key with any type of creative financing deal is do not go out there and chase them on purpose. There's too many people doing that right now, and it's driving up the market. And listen, it doesn't take much to do a creative finance deal. To make money on a creative financing deal, it takes skill and patience, and you're better off letting the creative finance deals through your regular wholesale marketing efforts. So guys, that is our strategy. We're going after Zillow. We're attacking FSBO owners that are 100 days plus old, hopefully with a few price reductions. Why? Because they're ripe. Nobody's talking to them. The market has punished them. Now we have to go on. Step number 2 is now we have to underwrite and value the property. And this is my favorite part because it's the easiest part of wholesaling. Remember, I'm not looking to have you price it like a realtor. So I'm going to show you 2 simple ways you can do it. And do not overthink this. If you spend most of your time trying to underwrite and figure out the value of the property, you're not wholesaling, you're speculating. You see, people that spend the most time comping properties either or want to be a realtor or they're overpaying for the property. In my eyes, they're both not good in a wholesaler's shoes. So the first thing is we have to figure out what the value of the property is. It's real simple, guys. Zillow's going to give you his estimate right off the bat. Go to like realtor.com, 2 of the more common free public places where you can pull a value. Take the average of those, take the conservative number, and just figure it out. So if one says 200, the other says 220, my comp is 205, 210. Or maybe you just stick with the lower comp, and that way you're always staying below. As a wholesaler, you don't want to reach for numbers because that's called speculation. We always stay on the conservative side. That's a simple way to do the value. One of the easiest ways, in my opinion, is just go into X Leads and it'll give you the actual retail value of the property. And honestly, it'll give you what the wholesale value is based on the condition of the property, which means the second part of underwriting is how do we underwrite the repairs on the property? Now, unless you have experience, you've been in the business like 24 years like me, or you have general contracting experience, I get it. This is a little daunting. I got this all figured out for you. Go over to freewholesaling.com. In our school group, the largest school group of 62,000 people, if you go under our classroom settings and you look under ARV, we have an entire AI calculator in there. It will not only figure out through a series of questions what the rehab is based on the square footage, it'll give you what the cost of repairs is and give you a number. And actually, if you work it out, it will figure out what your maximum allowable offer is. But I'm going to show you how to do the lowest allowable offer to get you an offer. And I'm going to go into that detail. But I got you covered. Go under the ARV section under freewholesaling.com and we have a simple calculator. We use AI. We don't even use charts anymore. And it'll just ask you a series of questions. And from there, you can extrapolate what the estimated repairs on it. Pretty cool. Now, guys, the last thing is when we do the comps, as I said, you can take the average of like Zillow and realtor.com. If you got an X Leads account, it's already done for you. I like to have the tightest radius in the last 90 days possible. That's not always possible. Sometimes you got to go out a little bit further. Sometimes you got to go to 3 to 6 months. Remember, the closer and tighter your comp criteria is, the more accurate the comp is. But guys, we're in the business of wholesaling and we have to understand we have to buy low. Do you hear the word low? This is where low ball comes from you. Anyone tells you like low ball is a joke, they're speculators. They're not wholesalers because I have to buy low and sell medium. How do I do that? I have to make low ball offers. Heck, I'm not even going to close on the house. I'm going to sell my assignment of contract. And the only way I can do that is I have to have money left in the deal. Don't spend a lot of time comping, and understand if you're in a non-disclosure state like Texas, I believe there's about 10 or 12 states. If you use your X Leads account, it has you completely covered because they pull this data for you because sometimes you can't even get closed comps on Zillow and stuff like that. If not, use X Leads, or you're going to have to scrape and dig a little bit deeper in Zillow and realtor.com. So let's get in. How do we make the offer and how do we have this conversation? Most of you freak out at this point, and I need you to calm down. You're just ready for this. You just pick up the phone, you dial the number, no fancy dialer. The phone number is right there, and you have the owner's name, and you just talk to him. Now, you should have it up on Zillow. You'll look at the description. Find a way to connect with that seller. Often when I get these, I have to call and leave a message because they're so tired of getting beat up by people. You have to go in with a welcoming voice, ask some questions, and show interest in purchasing the property as an investor. I didn't say wholesaler, an investor. We're getting away from the word wholesaler because it's being vilified by influencers, by realtors. So why am I going to let somebody label to me? So simply going to go, listen, hey, I'm calling your property on Fifth Street. Is this Jan? Yeah, it's Jan. Now, most of the time when I hear them after 100 days, they'll have this defeated voice and you have to pick them up. You have to connect with them. Remember, everybody just runs them over on price. Say, Jan, tell me a little bit about the property, and then let her get in a personal story. And once you get the story behind the property, you have connection, you have rapport. Once you have rapport, now you can start asking quality questions about the property. Go, hey, Jan, why do you think the property hasn't sold? Shut your mouth. This is where they're either going to kind of tell you the truth or not. The better you have rapport, the more you're going to get the truth behind the symptom of of the real estate, why it's vacant and why it's not selling. Is it price? Is it condition? Like, do you really want to sell it or not? And you got to get past that part. And this is where we go through the MCTP. If you want to get more details on that, go over to freewholesaling.com. We teach you how to simply qualify any seller. Remember, I'm only going to make offers on people who need to sell the house. If it's vacant, they're not producing income and they're not living in it, it's most likely someone who needs to sell. Someone who wants to sell puts a wish list price on it, usually has a realtor on it. We have to filter through those. So once I get the story behind it, I'm going to look and I'm going to make an all cash offer, and I'm going to offer roughly 70% of the list price. Why? Because I got to see if there's movement in there, because obviously the price they have it is not going to get the property sold. It's probably way overpriced. 70% is a shot over the bow to see if they'll work with you. If they don't want to work with you, you just put them in your follow-up and keep going with them. If they want to work with you, then you could start structuring an offer, getting them more details, maybe put eyes on the property and get it done. Guys, don't just shoot the entire Zillow list, filter down to the criteria. I'm telling you, there's a strategy. Honestly, I am doing deals off of this every week, and I'm teaching my staff how to make these phone calls. We have to comb through a lot and sort them, but once we get to it, you can make 10, 20 calls and you can actually find a deal. But remember, you got to connect with them. You got to get them to open up. You got to get the story of why you don't think it's sold. It's important you get their story because we kind of know it probably. And I'm just looking for the seller to tell me, I want to get it sold. They're tired of playing the games. And what we can do is if we can get close, then we can put eyes on the property. Maybe we send somebody out. Maybe it's in your local market. And then we can write them an offer. How do we write them an offer? You just send it to them. Use some sort of e-sign. If you have X leads, it's included in your account. And remember, you can do the low ball technique with the FSBO because they're the owners, because you're direct. I'm strongly advising, if you're dealing with a Zillow one, to go in and do a low ball with a realtor, because number one, realtors overly don't want to connect with you. They'll sit there and BS you all day because that's their job. And number two, they'll never take you seriously if you start off with a low ball. So for the sake of this video, we're talking about off-market properties that are not on MLS, that are FSBO on Zillow. Now, if you need help putting the contract together, simply go to our freewholesaling.com, our school group, 62,000 people, and we have the contract in there that you can put it together. And it's a simple 2-page contract you can send directly to the seller. And if you have an X Leads account, you can electronically send it to them via email, and it's already included in your account. And the key, guys, is you have to stay consistent and you have to keep doing it. We have to find problematic properties, buy them low. And remember, if you're spending too much time comping these properties, you're typically going to overpay for them. So I like to come in at least 70% of what they have listed on the value. And remember, what they listed for does not mean that's the value of the property. So 70% is just a starting point. I often go much, much lower on that based on how bad they need to sell the property. But guys, we need to focus on Zillow to find people who need to sell, because most wholesalers out there chasing people who just want to sell, and you're just going to waste your time. It's going to exhaust you. If you want to use this strategy, go back, rewatch this video. Oh, I told you at the last part is once you have in a contract is dispoing it, the challenge is doing it virtually is you don't know these markets. I'm telling you right now, go out, connect with somebody in our free school group, freewholesaling.com, go to Zach Discord, find a JV partner and get it sold fast. You don't have time to figure out how to get it sold in a market you're not familiar with. And until you become efficient, consider using a JV partner, because you're better off splitting the deal than making zero. Because you put all this hard work into the Zillow marketing, make sure you get it sold, because you usually have less than 30 days and you need to get it sold as fast as possible with a good JV partner with the paperwork signed. You can often have a buyer built in and have it sold in as little as a week. And that's how you can collect 10 grand in under 30 days using the wholesale Zillow marketing effort. So guys, let me know in the comments if you're going to use this strategy. And as usual, if you got value from this, make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, and share this video with someone who wants to really learn the truth of wholesaling. This is Rick Ginn. I'll see you in the next video. Later.